All right, all you beginners, hey, what's happening out there? This is Dave again. This video is mainly for the beginners. Uh, just like my previous one I just did, it's about that artist block where you can't seem to figure out what to do on a blank sheet of paper. I think a lot of times that's because most beginners only think of the paper as having two dimensions, up and down, left and right. Say, for instance, we have a picture frame. Take this as the actual paper that you're drawing on. Now, beginners only think about up, going in this direction, down this direction, left in that direction, and right in that direction, which really limits your imagination and what you can do and makes the actual drawing flat or painting. Now we're going to do a little perspective on this. This is how this would probably look in perspective. Now you still got the up and the down, the left and the right, but this is what you need to begin to understand. It's going through the picture plane. This right here. That's what you need to understand to go through. Well, we would see it just like this. And just for the sake of shadow, let's see. For shading, maybe we'll put it in like this. You got to go through the picture plane. Like that. This is what so many beginners don't seem to be able to visualize going through. Say, for instance, you have a, let's see, maybe kind of a street scene, which would normally maybe be left to right, and maybe you got telephone poles. And maybe the poles are, let's see, well, even here we have to use a little perspective. Even here, these poles would be in perspective. But this would be a street. Let's say this is a street, and you're looking at it from the side, going left to right. where if we turn the street, use a little perspective, we may have the street going like this. We have these poles, and the poles will get smaller. As they go off into the distance. And this will be the road, like this. A real rough draft of it, going that direction. And kind of the ultimate would be this. We have a horizon line going, and maybe we'll do some mountains in the distance. Got mountains in the distance, like this. Got some clouds. Here, clouds like this, sun going smaller, but that road may do something like this. And basically, telephone poles. First we do a line down here. Well, we gotta go to that vanishing point, which would be about, vanishing point could be up here. Usually we're gonna have a vanishing point. I'm doing most of this freehand rather than get into a lot of perspective. Just eyeballing it. So you can get an idea. As we come up, that's 3 different views of the same highway. This is in complete perspective as though you're in the middle of it looking down that way. Something else for beginners. Say you want to make something look like it's going in the distance. We'll just use circles, for instance. They can represent boulders, maybe. We got a big one, maybe on right here. And maybe we got, let's see, another one right here, a little smaller. This one begins to get a little bit smaller. A little smaller. Such. And if you really want to show real depth and perspective, we would really overlap the forms like this. Well, I have my light coming this way. So I want to make all my light and my exercises coming from the right. That's why I changed it like this. So all my shadows over on this side. There will be overlapping forms. You can overlap forms. Let's take this form. Now at this particular vantage point, we're above it. So we would have to, if we're trying to put it on that highway, we would have to do something like this. As we go on toward our vanishing point. I'll bring this down a little bit. Like that. The track would go this way. So let's say we'll have a train maybe. First we'll do tracks. Now we'll do the tracks coming this way. And we're gonna and let's see how we do for lights. I'm going to have that train coming like this. The main thing is to go through. You got to see through the picture plane. The picture plane is only, you have to think of it as looking through a window. You look through the actual window. As artists, we see into the paper. We don't just see up and down and left to right. I'm going to give you some ideas. Say if you had a ball, one here, and a couple of different things we can do. Let's say we'll make this one, we'll put both of them at the same height right now. One, I can actually put a cast shadow, which puts it on the ground. That kind of puts that one on the ground. And this one here, but it would assume that the ground, either this ball is closer and it's not on the ground. This ball will appear to be floating in the air. And of course, you can always have something bigger. Which would look like it's closer. This one looks like it's closer. It could be the same size ball here in the distance, but it's actually in the air. It's actually maybe back a little further. And you could have one even back here. Maybe it's a little smaller. And it could be on the ground. And we can make a big one up here. That's actually floating. That cast shadow would actually be an ellipse. If you hear me say oval in some of my previous videos, that's on me. I meant ellipse. Anytime I say oval, I really mean ellipse. Sometimes it slips. Ovals are when we're going to do human head. That's the oval. Now, those appear to be actually floating. And you can do that with anything. I'm sure you know with boxes, when we take our favorite square, and we can do it this way. This is what you've seen most of the time is the regular cube done this way. We can take the same square and this time we're below the cube. This is the bottom. And I can do the same square. This time we'll go from this side. We're still viewing it from the bottom. Now, an easy way to, that's a 1-point perspective. An easy way to do 2-point perspective, because that's one, two, three, and 4. But we're gonna just keep it real easy right now. On down the way, I'll get technical, where I'll do the horizon line, vanishing points, and construction lines. But right now, we're just doing it freehand. You put one line like this, and these lines you may have to adjust. All depends. And we go a line like this. Now this box is drawn in 2-point perspective, but we'll have converging lines going either way. You can see the difference, and we'll still have it maybe this side may be in the shadow, and the shadow is going to look a lot different. And let's see, maybe we'll do it this way. The shadow is going to look a lot different than the other one. This is the cast shadow. You'll notice the orientation of this box. Now we'll do another one. Draw a center line, and we're going to have it, this time, we're going to spread these out a little bit more. This one here, And that. So you see a little bit less at the top. Like that. We'll open this one up just like we did before. Let's see, we're gonna. Remember, cast shadows are always darker than the actual object. Darken the inside of this a little bit. That box is oriented a lot different than this cube. That box looks a lot different than this one. You can see the difference in the boxes, the orientation, as though the box is turning. I'm going to go another page. This is something we're going to deal with a little bit about motion. Let's see if we have one ball. First, we'll make a ground plane. This is our ground, right here. We have a ball suspended in the air. That apparently is just actually, it looked as though it's actually just suspended. It's just hanging in the air. So we'll do another ball over here where put this ball appears to be falling down. These are called action lines. This ball is actually coming down. Now we're going to have one that actually hits. Let's say this ball actually hits. So the first thing I want to do is determine what happens when it hits. This one is going to bounce. So I'm going to determine that it hits about right here. I'll draw my spot that it hits. I'll show that it was coming down in that area. It hit, and it bounced over this way. Or action lines. Now you get the before and after. It came down, it hit, and it bounced that way. Now this ball is going, as it came down, well, we'll make it a little bigger here. Maybe this one came down. We want to always make your action lines go away from the actual object. I'm going to make it squish. Maybe that one came down and it squished. This one is going to come down from a high rate of speed. And when it hit, we'll see what happens when this one hits. First, that's the impact. And now here's pieces. You can put as many pieces as you want from the impact. Remember, all the debris radiates from one central point, the point of impact. All that debris this will show that this particular ball was solid and it blew up on impact. Now we could have another ball coming down. Remember, this is our ground right here. Now we got another ball that when it came down with so much force you don't see it, but you know it's there because this one through dirt, because this one actually hit the ground into the earth. Maybe it threw dirt up. It actually went into the ground. We want to show a lot of debris. where it actually went into the ground. It was going so fast. And you don't even see it because it actually went into the earth. Now, we could show this one just standing there, or it could be moving just a little bit. This one exploded. Got big chunks of it. And some of the chunks could actually have action lines as they were flying from it. This one just splattered, of course. We don't know what this one's going to do. It hasn't hit yet. This one bounced. We don't know where it's going. It may keep off that way. It may hit again. Here's something else. If we have one ball, let's say about right here, and it's going horizontal. We still want to shade this side. Maybe this one's going a little faster, so it distorts a little bit. It's going so fast, we get a little bit of distortion. That gives the effect that it's going maybe a little bit faster than that one. And you can distort it even more. Maybe it's going so fast till it really distorts. Notice I'm not drawing the back of the ball. So it's going so fast, you don't really see that back portion of it. And we can show where maybe it has been. Maybe you got one and maybe it's show a trail where it's been. This shows a path where the ball has been. That's different ways of showing motion. Another way is, say if we take even a stick figure, maybe like a stick. That's vertical. Now, when you have a stick, any object like this, it's more like stationary. As it begins to move, you begin to see motion. This. And let's say the last one. That implies that the sticks are falling in this direction. But you could still take that and interpolate it as when something is, let's say I could do it this way. I could take a cylinder. I would have an ellipse in this direction. An ellipse here. And very simple here. This is how I would show action lines. This implies that it has motion. It's horizontal. You can see the motion going this way, or it could go that way. Doesn't make any difference. Yeah, it's the same as when you have a figure or any object. You want to show motion, you put it on an angle. Or like, even if it's laying down, it could be just laying there, but in this particular situation, we're showing that it actually has movement. It's going horizontal. It's kind of the same with showing something. In order to show something heavy, you need to show what it's doing. I can show maybe, like they often show in the animated cartoons, you may have a weight. I like to show weights like this. And we'll see how would that go. I usually have something like this. And I'll show maybe, you could put any amount on here that you want to put on here. We could say 1 ton. Maybe a ton. Now, a good way to show, let's see, we're going to shadow it in. This would be maybe the shadow side. Basically, that kind of looks kind of heavy. But it would look heavier, let's say, if it was maybe kind of like this. And maybe, okay, let's see. Maybe I got it on an actual tree. And we'll go down this way. Like I actually have this 1 ton weight actually on something. Maybe these are the tree branches. As you can see, I actually have this weight on this tree. Maybe the tree is broken. I actually have it sitting on something. That would imply some heavy weight. We'll see a few other items. We'll deal with this. About movement. Let's see here. We'll do another side here. As far as putting things together again, this is a little something I like to do. And maybe I'll have a neck here. And let's see, we'll do them this way. Make it real simple. Real simple face for a robot. Now under here would be shading. We're going to make this side shadow. This side of the figure is in shadow. Now here's the fun part. I'll make these arms. Let's see, we're going to make them. All depends on the orientation. We'll have them coming out this way. Maybe they being right here. And we're going to give this a little metallic look. That's what this is going to do. Give it a little metallic look right there. Cast shadow grounds it, remember that. And we could have some, let's see, who knows what goes on up here. On this robot. And we're going to do a little shading back here, maybe. We've actually got shadow using simple forms, mainly squares. And we can even do one, let's say, this little one here, like R2-D2. Kind of start with a cylinder and draw lightly. Put right here, and we're going to have it rolling. So first we're going to make our circle. Now we're going to have this attached some kind of way. So firmly on the ground. And I can't remember how exactly that goes, but gotta have some kind of eyes or something on it, huh? Like that. And maybe and something like this. These were just simple forms that I put together: cylinders, circles, squares. Just come up with little ideas. A little movement there. Maybe it's rocking a little bit. Who knows? And you can also shade a little bit. Okay, what else can we do with an actual, with some form here? Seeing actually, as I said before, through the actual picture plane. That's the whole idea. Again, we can have spheres. Back here. And who knows what happens at that point, that flash point. That shows distance. You could even have a bigger one. Right here. It shows something going into the actual distance. Think of things more so front to back rather than just left to right. That's where you want to think. Just like this robot arm, I could have a robot arm coming this way maybe. Let's see. If he was coming this way, he would have an arm, maybe. Okay, how would this arm be? Maybe we would have the arm actually, it could project like this, because after all, it's very flexible. Maybe the actual mechanism for the hands. Could be something like this, possibly. I'm just saying, I don't know. And then we would maybe like that. That came real quick. Like that. When I say my direction of my light, quite often the direction of light is depicted as such. With a flat arrow. But this is how I want to really see it. You draw your main line, direction, and we want to put at a right angle, we want to put a ellipse, and then we want to put maybe another, join these two. Right here. Join this like that. Now, this is a conventional way of drawing an actual light ray. And we'll make it a little longer, but it's flat. This is the three-dimensional light ray right here. Going like that. You can see the difference. Big difference. This is how you gotta start thinking. Like that. You do it from this angle. First draw a straight line. We're gonna have it coming toward the robot this time. So, we won't see the inside, we'll see it like this. Up a little bit. Give it some motion. Like that. And these are just little random doodles. This actually gives a star a little thickness like that. And we can keep them going back if we want to. They get smaller and smaller as they go into the distance. And of course you can have a big one right here. Maybe it's turned a little bit. Like that. And let's see, what else can we do here? That's about it. I think beginners need to, well, in my next video, I'll give you an idea. Drawing from the imagination, you have to have a library in your actual, how should we say, brain or whatever, of many different images and objects over your lifetime to pull from it in order to draw from the imagination. One of the best things to do is keep a file. My next video, I'll try to show you, keep a file on everything that you can see out of magazines, newspapers, or whatever. Let's say we had a file on animals, and the first tab would be dogs, the next would be cats, maybe the next one would be birds, and whatever else. And then maybe we had a file on humans, and you'd have one for men, one for women, one for children. We may have a file on trees, and maybe trees with different types of trees, trees with leaves, trees without leaves, and it could be assorted objects, anything. That's what you have to compile over the years in order to have a library to draw from, in order to draw from your imagination. Before I leave, I just want to show you some things from my imagination that I have done. Let's see here, some of them are upside down. These are some from my imagination. A lot of anatomical drawings. These are some just ideas about drugs and things. These are some more cartoons, animation. Some more objects. This is using a lot of circles and ellipses. Some ideas that I have about things. This was drawing some trees. And let's see here. These are some ideas. These are upside down. Let's turn these around. Some drawings that I'm working on. Working out. This is a bullfighter. I'm working out some different anatomical positions of the bull. These are some chirrups. Some more of the bull. Different positions. A lot of cross hatching. that will just about do it for this session. Some of the things that I did in my last section, as you can see. You need to practice these. Remember, practice, look at it, the sheet of paper as though it's an actual window, not just a flat sheet of paper. You got to look at it as a window that you can actually see through. Remember, this is the picture plane. You want to see into it, not left or right. You got to go into the picture plane. If all these were on the ground, they would all have shadows going this way. This is how they would all begin to look. They all have shadows going down, and actually they would all be shaded. It gives you an idea about 1-point perspective. So that's about it for this session. Hope it gave you some ideas. Maybe you learned a little something. We did some perspective, but we didn't go into the real technical aspects of it. Maybe another time I will. I just want to make this fun and real easy, real pleasurable. Until next time, this is Dave saying, hey, keep drawing.